Hello everyone, Play here, and welcome to my tutorial on again. This module is a time-dependent pseudo-needy, so it'll activate randomly throughout the bomb. When it does, it'll make the needy activation sound that you're probably familiar with, and an exclamation mark will show up on the module's button. And additionally, a 2.5-minute timer will be started. If you do not deactivate the module when the timer runs out, you will get a strike. If you're playing in time mode, the timer is reduced to just 1.5 minutes. But if you strike on any module or solve any module, the timer will go back to 1.5 minutes. And additionally, if you're playing in steady mode, the timer will reduce if you strike, along with the strike penalty. Now, as the read, the diffuser just needs to tell the expert what the number on the top display is, which in this case is 5. As we know from this, the top display shows the number of stages or deactivations you need to pass to solve the module. And the bottom number will serve as the current stage indicator, and it will range from 0 to the top number. So in our case, 0 to 5. But after each deactivation, the bottom number will increase by 1. When the bottom number becomes equal to the top number, again we'll solve. So during activations, we will only see the bottom number ranging from 0 to top number minus 1. So 4 in our case. Now, I've modified this module a bit for the sake of this tutorial, so that it activates when I press the button, and that it doesn't have the 2.5-minute timer. So let's activate this module. You've heard the sound, and an exclamation mark popped up right here. So first things first, first thing you have to do each activation is press the button once at any time. Doing this locks in the solved modules you had on the bomb and the number of strikes that will be used to calculate the solution for this activation. If I were to get a strike now, the module would still calculate its solution as if there were 0 strikes. So because we know the bottom number, that it ranges from 0 to 4, and we also know that there are 4 cases, or 4 rules that depend on strikes, we can make a little table with all the answers for all activation possibilities. So rows are going to be bottom number values, 0 through 4, and columns are going to be strikes, 0, 1, 2, and 3 or more. So we get a total of 20 cases. For all of them, we start with the number 0 and follow all of these rows under the bullet points. First, if there are 0 strikes, which applies for this column with the 0 strikes, add 69 to your number. Every number in this column becomes 69. If there is 1 strike, this column, add 21. Everything becomes 21. If there are 2 strikes, here, add 7. If there are 3 or more strikes, here, add 666. Next rule, if the number of indicators is greater than the bottom display, so if 2 is greater than the bottom display, this applies for these 2 rows, where 2 is greater than 0 and 2 is greater than 1. In these rows, we'll be adding the top display number, so we're doing +5. We're also adding the bottom display number, so the row number, +0 and +1. We're at +5 and +6 now, and then subtract 2, so +3 and +4 respectively. So let's calculate, or add. This goes to 72, this goes to 24, this goes to 10, this goes to 669. This goes to 73, this goes to 25, this goes to 11, this goes to 670. Next rule, if the number of indicators is less than the bottom display number, so if 2 is less than the bottom display number, which applies for these 2 rows, we're going to be subtracting the top display and the bottom display number, so subtracting 5 and 3 in this row, and 5 and 3, 4 in this row. That's subtracting 9, subtracting 8. Then after that, we're going to be adding 20. So in this row, subtract 8, this goes to 61, this goes to 13, this goes to -1, and this goes to 58. In this row, it goes to 60, then 12, then -2, then 57. Then for all of them we add 20. So this goes to 81, this goes to 80, this goes to 33, this goes to 32, this goes to 19, this goes to 18, this goes to 678, this goes to 77. Okay, next row, if the button has been solved, that refers to the vanilla module, the bottom. This row will be skipped for this entire bomb because that module isn't even present on this bomb. So we skip this row. Then if there are more port plates than the bottom display number, so 3 is greater than the bottom display number, this applies for these 3 rows, where 3 is greater than 0, 1, and 2. Modulo your number by 81. Now all of these numbers are already less than 81, so taking them modulo 81 will just return themselves as the result. So we only have to care about taking all of these numbers modulo 81, getting 21, 22, and 18. And finally, if the serial number has a 3 in it, which it doesn't, so we skip this rule. Finally, after following all of these rules, simply take all of your numbers modulo 60. Take all of these modulo 60, we get 12, 13, 9, 21, and 20. All of these are less than 60. All of these are less than 60. Take these numbers modulo 60, get 18 and 17. And now, for the single digit numbers, just prepend a 0 to them. And so, we got a little table for all the solutions for each activation possibility. So in this case, the bottom number is 0, and we locked in 0 strikes. So the solution is 12. To submit this number, we need to press the button when the seconds digits on the timer form the number we got from all of the rules. So in this case, we need to press the button when the seconds digits form the number 12, which is going to happen very soon. Right now. The module deactivated and the number incremented. I'll remove this row for convenience sake. Now let's activate the module again. And this time, I'm gonna lock in 1 strike. So we're looking at this column. The answer is 25 for this activation. If I were to magically get a strike now, but I already locked in 1 strike, the solution wouldn't change to 11. It would stay at 25. So we press the module right now. Activate it again. This time lock in 2 strikes. Bottom number 2, strikes 2. Press the number on 07. Now bottom number is 3. I'm gonna lock in 3 or more strikes for this one. Boink. So solution is 18. And then on the next activation it's gonna be 17. So I'm gonna quickly do both of these. Just have to wait a bit. So 18. And I missed it. Oh, fair enough. I'm just gonna do some times shenanigans to get to that number quicker. Press on 17. Module diffused. Now, the bomb might just not have enough time for the module to activate as many times on the top screen. For this, the failsafe exists, which I will showcase right here, along with the solving process one more time. So note down the top number, which is 3. Bottom number will range from 0 to 2. Top number minus 1. 2. For strikes, I'll assume they're equal to 0 for simplicity's sake. So now we start following the rules. If there are 0 strikes, add 69 to your number. If the number of indicators is greater than the bottom display number, this applies for these two rows, 2 greater than 0 and 1. Add top display number, bottom display number, subtract 2, getting +1 and +2 for these two rows respectively. This becomes 70, this becomes 71. If the number of indicators is less than the bottom display number, this doesn't apply for any of the rows. 2 is not less than 2, so we skip this rule. Then if the button has been solved, which is false for this entire BOM, so we skip this rule. If there are more port plates than the bottom display number, again this applies for these two rows, because 2 is greater than 0 and 1, modulo your number by 81. This is already done for us, because both of these numbers are less than 81. Then finally, if the 0 number has a 3 in it, multiply your number by 9. We don't have a 3 in the 0 number, so we skip this rule. Then finally, modulo your resulting number by 60. So we get 10, 11, and 09. Now, when the BOM timer reaches 2 minutes 30 seconds or less, the module will basically discard your previous activation before the failsafe and start a completely new activation. So if you had already locked in an answer before the failsafe, as I've done now, you would discard all of the information you locked in before the failsafe and use the new information you lock in after the failsafe, which is going to happen very soon. There it was, failsafe activation. The activation when the bottom number was 0 is completely discarded, so press the button to lock in 0 strikes. And now, because the bottom number is 2, I need to press the button when the seconds form the number 09. And that's it. So that was my tutorial for again. See you in the next one. Goodbye.